Let's derive a production possibility frontier for a simple economy. Our economy has 3 acres of land, A, B, and C. If A spends 100% of its time growing corn, we can grow 120 bushels of corn, no wheat. B, at 100% for corn, grows 100 bushels of corn, no wheat. And C would grow 40 bushels of corn and no wheat. If we use all of A to grow wheat, we'll grow 120 wheat, but 0 corn. We get 50 wheat, 0 corn for B, and 80 wheat, 0 corn for C. Now we allocate a proportion of the acre to corn and the other portion to wheat. We simply get a percentage of 120 and 120, or 150, 40, and 80. For example, 50-50. If we use half the acre to grow corn, we'll get half of 120, which is 60. If we use half to grow wheat, we'll get half of 120, which is also 60. If we use half of B to grow corn, we'll get half of 100, which is 50. If we use half of B to grow wheat, we'll get half of 50, which is 25. If we use half of C to grow corn, we'll get 20, which is 1/2 of 40. And if we use half of C to grow wheat, we'll get 40 wheats. We can use this information to determine how much corn and wheat the economy can grow. So my table here at the top of the chart summarizes what happens when we use A, B, and C, when we allocate A, B, and C strictly to either corn or to wheat. If we use all of A to grow corn, we'll grow 120. All of B to grow corn, we'll grow 100. All of C to grow corn, we'll get 40. If we use none of A to grow corn, which means all of A is going to wheat, we'll get 120, we'll get 0, we'll get 80 from A, B, and C. Now let's look at what happens if we use A, B, and C to grow wheat. We'll get 120 from A, we'll get 50 from B, and we'll get 80 from C. Gives us a total of 250 wheats. But if we use all our resources to grow wheat, we get no corn. Now what happens if we use B to grow corn? Well, in that case, we're going to get the 100 acres of corn from B, and we'll get the acres of wheat, 120 and 80. We'll get a total of 200 bushels of wheat. If C grows wheat, we'll pick up, we got the 80, okay, if C grows wheat, even I get confused. If C grows wheat, we'll get the 80 bushels of wheat from C. If A and B grow corn, we're going to get 120 plus 100 for a total of 220 bushels of wheat. And finally, if A, B, and C all 3 grow corn, we'll get 120, we'll get 100, we'll get 40 for a grand total of 260 bushels of wheat. So this graph contains the points we developed earlier. Point A shows you what happens when we use all of our resources to grow wheat. We get 250 bushels of wheat, but we get no corn. Point G shows what happens when we use all our resources to grow corn. We get 260 bushels of corn and no wheat. As we move resources away from wheat to corn, we get less wheat and we get more corn. As we move resources away from corn to get wheat, we get less corn and we get more wheat. Point D shows us that if we want to produce 140 bushels of wheat, the most corn we can produce is 160. It also shows us if we want to make 160 bushels of wheat, if we want to make 160 bushels of corn, the most wheat we can make is 140. Now, so the production possibility frontier shows us the most of one good we can make given the amount of another good that we are making. Now we'd really love to go maybe to point H. Point H has 180 bushels of wheat, 180 bushels of corn. Point H is obviously better than point D because point H has more of both wheat and corn, and people like more stuff. They want more wheat and they want more corn. However, point H is not feasible. Our production possibility frontier shows us that we cannot get to point H. If we want 180 bushels of corn, the most wheat we can make is 120. If we want 180, let's see, I got the other one. If we want 180 bushels of wheat, the most corn we can make is 120 again. Nice symmetric curve. This gap between what we would like to have and what we can produce is called scarcity. Scarcity means that goods and services have a cost. To get more of something, somebody, somewhere, somehow has got to give up other stuff. It's going to happen. As Milton Friedman used to say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Now, we can also, it is possible to reach a point like J. J has 110 wheat and 100 corn. A couple ways to get to J. Instead of using, let's see here, if the economy uses acre A and 1/2 of B to grow wheat, A and 1/2 of B to grow wheat, and it uses C and 1/2 of B to grow corn, it'll wind up at point J. Well, point J is obviously inferior to point D because it has less wheat and less corn. So if we use our resources in a bad way, if we allocate our resources in a bad way, we can wind up inside the production multiplication frontier. Such an outcome is called inefficient, or such an outcome is inefficient. Efficiency occurs when the economy makes the best use of its resources. One way to fail to be the best is to produce less than the maximum amount that you can produce. Another way to reach point J is to let have resources that are unemployed. Let some land lie fallow. The economy will produce 100 bushels of corn and 110 bushels of wheat. If it uses B to grow corn and uses fallow, does B to grow corn, C and 1/4 acre of A to grow wheat. We're going to let 3/4 of A lie fallow. That would put us at point J, but again we have less than a maximum amount of output. That's one of the problems with unemployment. When we have unemployed resources, we don't get all the stuff we can obtain, and people want more stuff. We can also show this